All right, welcome back to the Boxer Briefs podcast. We are lucky enough to have Showtime Andre Lambe, a 25-year-old undefeated super lightweight out of Warwick, Bermuda, fighting out of Impact Boxing in Orlando, Florida. How you doing tonight, Andre?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm privileged to be here.
We appreciate it. We're honored to have you on.
Good to see you, Andre.
So how's training been going for the past
Good,
month? Because you got a fight coming up next month. How you been turning things up?
Yeah, training's been going really well. I actually started my training camp since January. Yeah, so because I had such a long layoff, so I wanted to get myself back in my routine. I came out here, was training with some top guys. I was in 2 or 3 training camps with other guys that were getting ready for fights, and and now it's my turn, so it feels good.
Can you tell us about how you got into boxing in the first place and chasing your dream to be an Olympian?
I was always into sports. I did pretty much every sport you could think of. So I was pretty I like doing stuff like that. And one of my friends, he was doing kickboxing, and he was up at this at my gym where I started at 40 Rigo's gym. That was in Warwick. And so I was like, I want to give it a shot. So I went up there, and when I started doing it, you could see that I already had talent. I wasn't a street fighter or nothing like that. So it was crazy how it clicked so quick. And that one friend that showed me the gym, after a few months of me training, I ended up beating him in the gym. So it was okay, I think this is what I'm good at. I started quit all my other sports.
That was kicking or just punching?
Just punching. He was a kickboxer, but he boxed as well. And he was always he talking in school, because he always had fights coming up and stuff like that. And I was like, I wonder what that is. I just asked him. I was like, well, I want to give it a shot. And it worked out for me. And I just kept going with it. So that's pretty much what it was.
How old were you when you first walked into the gym?
I think I was 15 years old.
Okay.
So I was in the gym for about 3 months, and then I had my first fight. It ended up being an exhibition match. It was out here in Orlando, actually. So I trained for 3 months, and then I fought this guy who was 15 pounds heavier than me. I didn't win, but it was it was a learning experience, and it was just to test the waters to see if I wanted to do it, And that guy was strong, hit me with some strong punches, but I made it through all 3 rounds and held my own. And so after that, it was I just got to work on getting better and getting my fundamentals together, and eventually here I am.
Yeah, it's crazy. You were only in the gym for 3 months before having your first fight. Most guys train for a few years. You wanted to get right in there.
Yeah. I was I had paid my own trip, everything. I went up there. I was I'm fighting. I went up there and fought, took licks, but but it's cool. It was all a learning experience.
Of course. So
obviously you got pretty good pretty quickly because they made a documentary about you, Nuffin for Nuffin. Can you tell us what that phrase means to you?
Nuffin for Nuffin was actually my late coach's phrase. He always used to say during training camp, if you put in nothing, you get nothing. So he'd always say nothing for nothing. And while we're training, he shouted nothing for nothing. So that was the motivation that he always said. He had it written up in the gym. So when they came out to shoot the film at first, they saw that phrase and it was this is good right here. And they came down after he had already passed. So.
Obviously the documentary took quite some time because it followed you when you were training for Olympic qualifiers, and then obviously showed the downfall of the Olympics getting pulling boxing, obviously temporarily, and then your journey into turning professional. How many years did the whole thing take?
It took roughly about 3.5 years.
Wow.
Possibly close to 4 years, I believe. Yeah. They had come down for they had come down to shoot like a little promo video for one of my fights that I had coming up, and they were like, this guy's pretty talented. Like, you want to follow his story, and then that's how the documentary started. And then after that, they started to find other things in Bermuda, and then it just blossomed into what it is now. So.
Yeah, it was really well done. I mean, what a incredible story. I can't believe it took. I can believe, but it's wild that it took almost 4 years to film, and that was so you did the island proud.
Thank you.
Of course. So when and how did you make your ultimate decision to not hold out for the Olympics after it was boxing was temporarily pulled from the Olympics? You made your decision to turn pro. Could you tell us a little bit about how that decision was made and kind of how long it took you?
Yeah, when I was shooting for the Olympics, I had when I was in those competitions, I realized like when I was fighting with these guys that I wasn't far off from where they were. Like I was pretty like when I was fighting them, I had some stiff competition. I had done some sparring with a lot of the guys when I wasn't fighting, and I was beating a lot of those guys in these sparring sessions. So I had realized, I'm actually where I need to be to turn pro. And then when I was up there, a lot of the coaches up there were saying like I look like a professional. Like it's a different pace in the amateurs, and they were like, you really look like a professional. Like you should probably think about turning pro, like, and things like that. A lot of them were saying that, and so when they pulled it from when they pulled the Olympics, boxing from the Olympics, I was like, I didn't want to waste too much time, because you don't want to be in the game that long. So I was like, well, I'm gonna just turn pro and then help the next guy that's coming up to try and make it to the Olympics, because I'm not trying to be in this game at 40 years old, I want to get in and get out.
Like Mayweather, right? You don't want to be fighting for $100 million when you're 40 years old.
Not at 40 years old.
And you fought in front of a sold out crowd at the Princess. Can you tell me about that experience and what that was like for you?
Man, it was great. That experience. I wasn't expecting so much people to be supportive of me. Like I had sold out almost half that whole arena. Like a lot of people had seen me fight before, and I kind of didn't know people were watching me like that. But once I came out there, I saw people like with Showtime shirts and like screaming my name out there and things like that. So it was pretty good. I always had dreamed about it, so it didn't shake me, but that was just something that I wanted to always look up to. So
awesome.
Yeah,
oh, that's awesome. Growing up on such a small island, what were some of the challenges you had? Boxing at a young age. Did you have? I know you already mentioned you paid for your own trip for your first fight. What was it like? Did you have travel issues? Were there ever problems finding competition or sparring partners in your weight class?
Yeah, the main issue was probably getting fights because we were not as active as people out here in the U.S. And sparring. Most of the time it was just me and my friend Nikki Bassam. We were sparring each other a lot together. So that was it. It's not like out here where you have like new guys every week to spar, or like gyms coming up from different states sparring. So that was probably the main issue. But after that, it was probably most likely just like a mentality thing. You just got to stay motivated and keep working. Work on other things that you can't really get from these the other countries are getting.
Of course.
But I feel like we've been doing pretty good with what we have, and now boxing's building up, so it's a lot more kids getting into it. So
that's great. Now, speaking of motivation and staying motivated, you had mentioned you lost your coach and mentor, 40 Rigo, a few years ago, and then you and some others lost your shot at the Olympics when it was pulled, which were reasons completely out of your control. How important has it been to you to stay positive, stay motivated, and help carry on Rigo's legacy?
Yeah, it's it's always been ups and downs with with trying to stay motivated and things like that. After Rigo had passed, it was kind of like I have my new coach now that had been working with Rigo, Palan, and it was kind of you sometimes have doubt in your head like nobody's gonna be like who Rigo was, and that's true. Nobody is gonna be who Rigo was, but you got to realize that now it's time for somebody new to kind of develop, And I kind of, at the beginning, I wasn't giving Palan that opportunity to even shine, to even develop, And he had been working with Rico all that time. And I was contemplating quitting boxing because, I wasn't, not because of the Olympics, but because he had passed and he had been like always like somebody to tell me that I was doing good, So, it took some time, but eventually, me and Palan started to build our bond even better, and now we're like elite status. We've been working hard. We've been seeing the same things as like what he's saying in person. You know what I'm saying? When I go in the ring, I know exactly what he wants. He knows, he knows what I want. Things like that. So we've been gelling great. So I think it's been working out pretty well. So. Rigo said that he was the next one, so he gave him the torch to move on. So I'm just glad that you guys are able to continue what Rigo's legacy was, and we're definitely gonna pass it down to the next generation. So we're just gonna keep it going from here.
It's great you were able to transition so well. Looking at a guy like Mike Tyson, that was really kind of the downfall in his career, was when Customato died. So it's great that your coach was able to hand it off to somebody within his own.
Yeah.
And
yes.
So, but you guys are obviously pretty tight knit on a small island of 65,000. Like, what was it like to have to transition from your small island and leave your family and come to the States to train?
It was always something that I wanted to do. Like the first time I came out here, I had seen what the things that the other fighters were getting and all the facilities that they were able to use. So I was always looking forward to coming out here. It was just a matter of time and me staying dedicated. So I because I had seen it when I was back home, I was just envisioning me coming out here time and time again. So So that's pretty much what it was. And now that I'm out here, I'm taking full advantage of everything that they have, because I didn't get most of that back home.
Not the clubs in Miami, though, right?
Huh?
I said not the clubs.
I'm trying my hardest to stay away from those. I'm actually going to Miami this weekend. One of my fans is fighting out. So.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
While you're down there, you'll have to check out Fifth Street Gym. Where Ali
Street Gym?
Really? Fifth Street Gym, yeah, that's where Ali trained in Miami.
Okay. This gonna be my first extended stay in Miami. I've been there like for one day, for like one night, but I've never been there for as long as I'm gonna be there this time. So I definitely go check that out.
Awesome.
Is your friend fighting somebody from your gym as well?
No. No, my friends. I'm not sure exactly who is fighting now, but we'll see. He's already matched up and things like that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. I was looking forward to seeing the Teofimo Lopez fight because we were going to go to that after this fight, but unfortunately, he came out with COVID. So yeah, maybe another time.
There's a few other good fights this weekend, though. Jaime Munguia.
Oh, okay, yes.
Is fighting, so I'm not going to miss that one. I know.
Yeah.
And, some monster. Anyway, yes, he's also
yes,
on
yes,
ESPN.
yes, he is. Yes, on Top Rank. Yeah,
he's fun to watch.
Yeah, he is. I'm pretty excited to see what he's going to do this weekend, actually.
So, what would it mean to you to bring a championship belt home to Bermuda, and would you want to have the championship fight there if you get to that stage?
Man, that's been my dream from the beginning. Rigo always told me I was like one of the best, like I could be one of the best. So Bermuda hasn't had like a a real champion like that. And we did have Teresa Perazzi. She was a champion in the women's boxing.
Mhm.
So that was great. So I want to be the next one to bring home a championship. And yeah, definitely I want to have it in Bermuda. I want to sell out National Stadium. That's my goal. I want to sell out that whole stadium. And even if they won't let me do it multiple times and defend it in Bermuda, at least the first one. At least let me have the first one in Bermuda for sure.
Well, I can
Sounds
tell
like a
you,
good plan.
I can tell you when that happens, I will be flying out there for it. I wouldn't.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
What would you say to other fighters from small islands that are aspiring to be able to be world class and to fight at a higher level, who are hesitant to get into the fight game because they are from a smaller type place?
Mm-hmm. I would always say, mentality is key. You have to keep your mentality that you can always get to where you want to be. So you got to study. When I was training, I was doing a lot of studying, watching videos and things like that because I couldn't get the actual exposure. And whenever you have the opportunity to travel, if you can, do your best to get somewhere just to see it once, just so you know what to look forward to. And always stay motivated. Sometimes it's hard, but just keep working and working, and it'll pay off eventually.
For sure.
So that's what I would say. And don't let us you being in a small island stop you from pushing to your dreams. So keep working. It'll pay off eventually.
It must make you pretty excited when you go back home to Bermuda and you see all the kids in the gym and training after school. That must be pretty fun.
It's crazy. It's like boxing's blowing up now. It's like it was dead for so long, and then it was like just me and Nikki. It was nobody else boxing. It was crazy. And now when I go back, you got like 10, 20 kids in our gym. Everybody's trying to get a little something in. Even if they're not trying to fight, you got people just coming just to do boxing workouts and things like that. It's crazy how we did that,
That's beautiful. That's awesome. So speaking of that, when you were younger, who were some of the boxers that you followed or you idolized, or even now? Is there anyone that you try to mimic a little bit in style, or that you maybe you study some more than others?
When I started to come up, the first box I ever really knew about was Manny Pacquiao.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm southpaw, so I was taking a lot from him. And then obviously Floyd Mayweather. His technical skills were out of this world. So I've watched his fights over and over. So I think those two were my main. Plenty of guys like that I've been watching, Muhammad Ali and obviously Mike Tyson. But the main two that got me into boxing was Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. So.
And they're both still fighting.
Well, one's still fighting, the other one's over here doing sparring sessions. I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts either.
So
do you have a prediction yet for Pacquiao and Spence?
I think it's gonna go the distance. I think Spence is gonna take it.
Yeah.
Just simply because it's stronger, younger, and stronger. I think Pacquiao is gonna give a good fight, but I just think I don't think Pacquiao is going to be able to give as much of a barrage like Sean Porter did when he fought Spence. So it's going to be a good fight, but overall I think Spence is going to take it. And to answer your question about if I idolize any boxers now, I look at boxers now, but most of these guys are my age and like we're in the same circle. So I look at them, but I don't idolize these guys because I know like one day I'm gonna have to touch some of these guys. So I'm watching.
I like it. So it's not like the NBA where all these guys are all friends with one another and.
That's funny. Nope. Well, I mean, it's a respect. Yeah. You respect these guys, especially the guys that are unified champions or like guys that are multi-division champions. I mean, obviously, but like the guys that I could potentially be fighting, you know, those guys I keep on my radar just because, you know, I might have to fight them one day. So.
And who's on your radar these days?
We'll keep that to myself. But,
Keep that private.
so I got a few guys.
Now,
and when I do get that fight, I'll let you know. I'll say it at the interview. Yeah, I've been watching it for a while. Then you'll know.
Beautiful.
Perfect. Now you mentioned earlier that you've joined some other guys' training camps or whatnot. I know you've sparred with Christopher Diaz, among some other guys. What's it been like for you to be able to get in the ring with some of these guys who are, you know, who've been in the game professionally a few years now, chasing world titles, and seeing you're now at that level that you're getting involved with these guys? What's that been like?
It's been a blessing. And to speak on the Christopher Diaz thing, the first ever professional fight I went to was Christopher Diaz's fight.
Really?
And years later, and that was with my coach, Forty Riga. He took me to that fight. And years later, I never believed that I would even be in the ring with him. And then when I come back to Florida, he's the first person, like real big professional that I sparred. It was surreal. But it's crazy because I never thought of myself like being stepping in the ring with these guys. You know, I always believed that I had the talent, but my coaches always say, you know, you're on that level with these guys. So when I got in the ring with Christopher Diaz, you know, we had a really good sparring session, and that's when I realized, like, you know, I'm definitely here with these guys, you know. And Christopher Diaz, he was a very humble guy. He's definitely got a lot of experience. And after the sparring session, you know, he was telling me things like some top level things that I could work on and things like that. So he was definitely helping me, and I've been working on those things a lot since then. And after I sparred him, some of the stuff that he was doing to me, I sparred another guy who was doing the same thing, and that guy could not do what he was doing to me, like, because I had learned from that experience. Sure. So it's just been great to spar guys like that. Other than Christopher Diaz, I've been sparring a lot of undefeated prospects that are coming up. You might not know their names right now, but eventually these guys are like 6-0, 7-0. I sparred a guy yesterday, Sean Mason. He's 5-0. He's actually the co-main event for this event. You know, and I'm right there with these guys. So you know, it's just a matter of time. I just got to get the fights in, and once we get to where I need to be, then you'll see.
That's got to be great motivation, and just for your confidence too, to be able to be in there with these guys and be hanging with them and knowing that, you know, you got next.
Yeah, of course. I can't really speak too much on that, but yeah.
And can you tell me who you do have next, who you are fighting coming up next month?
I am fighting July 24th, but the promoters hasn't matched all of us up yet. He's matched like three of us on the card, so he's working on it slowly, but surely it's a big card. We got MMA and boxing on the same night.
Oh wow!
I don't know. I think this is the first time they're doing this on something on a pro card. So you're gonna have an MMA ring and a boxing ring in the same venue, and the room is huge. So it's going to be interesting to see what it is. But yeah, that's mainly what's going on. So just trying to match everybody up. But we'll see what's going on. But all the main guys, all the talent, all the guys that are the ticket sellers, he's got us all lined up. And so yeah.
Now for the rest of 2021, what are your goals? You know, I know you've got a big fight ahead of you, so you don't want to look too far ahead, but just hypothetically, what are your goals for the rest of this year and next year? How active do you want to be?
I want to be as active as possible. This year, to be realistic, I could probably only get about 3 fights in by the end of this year, and probably become 4-0 by the end of this year, hopefully. Mm-hmm. If I could get 4 fights in, like if I could fight one on this July and then fight again 2 weeks later, and I'm feeling fine, I'll do it. You know, that's the mentality I have right now. So if I could get to 5-0 by the end of this year, and then next year I want to push it out again. I've been waiting a long time for this, so I want to try to get to as many fights as I can by the end of next year, and then once I get to like 10-0, 12-0, between 10 and 15-0, then that's where I would start to calculate where I want to go from there, like on pushing championship belts and things like that. So I'm not saying that will happen next year, but that's going to be the goal. That's what we're pushing towards.
Yeah. It must have been incredibly difficult, because obviously you had the heartbreak of the Olympic story, and then you turned pro, you had your first pro fight, and then the pandemic hit. So the timing has, when you say that you've been waiting for this a long time, I can tell that you're itching to get back in there, because it's kind of been one hurdle after another before you're able to set up some more fights.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like the pandemic hit 2 weeks before I was supposed to fight again. So I was fighting in March. So it is what it is. But I feel like everything happens for a reason. I think that maybe after my pro debut, my head blew up. So I think the pandemic kind of brought me back down and said, look, you need to stay focused and not let this get to you. And I think that was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, because after that, I started to get some elite sparring. I've leveled my game up a lot since then. I'm definitely a better fighter than I was in January when I fought my pro debut. I'm definitely more technically sound, more defensively sound, things like that. And like I said, I've been sparring with some elite guys. The main guy I've been sparring over and over, he's a top prospect in the fighting on the same card as Giovanni Estella. Is like one of the big names out here in Orlando. We've been sparring steadily, so it's just been great to be getting that experience. So I'm definitely more prepared than ever for this event. So.
That's great.
So we wanted to send you a Boxer Briefs T-shirt.
Hey.
We send it out to all our fighters. So
yes,
that'll be in the mail for you.
Hey.
It's not going to be as nice as your Showtime shirt. I know that.
I got to send you guys some of these when I get them made.
Of course. Keep us on that list.
For sure. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it says Showtime on the back, too. I don't know if you can see what. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like it.
Yeah, it goes across the back.
So just to confirm, you're fighting next month, July 24th?
July 24th, yes.
All right.
And you'll be able to watch it on pay-per-view as well on the Fight app, FITE. So it'll be on there. They're putting out the poster now pretty soon on Fight. So
it's called the Fight app.
Fight, FITE. Just if you type that in the App Store or wherever, you'll find it. Okay. FITE. Yeah.
Now where can what'd you say?
I said I'll download that tonight.
You better.
Yeah.
Now, where can the listeners find you on social media?
My Instagram is Showtime_40. So that's where you'll find me. That's where I post most of everything. So yeah.
Now I got one last question for you. Is because I've been reading in the Gazette, it's back and forth. Is Cup match going to happen this year?
They just canceled today.
Officially.
Actually. Like 10 minutes before you called, yeah.
I hadn't seen that
because what they were gonna do is they were gonna have the team have to take off from work and train in a bubble, and they couldn't go nowhere until the game. So a lot of guys couldn't commit to that because they have things they gotta do, So this is reasonable,
Yeah, of course, I understand. Well, Andre, we really appreciate the time. We're wishing you best of luck next month. We'd love to speak to you again soon. And
yes, of course.
Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story with us.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, good luck, Andre. I'm sure you're going to win this next fight.
Of course. Thank you, man.